Have you ever felt like you're speaking a different language than everyone around you? Like you're playing a game where everyone knows the rules except you? This strange feeling isn't just in your head. For some people, especially those with a Sigma personality, finding their tribe feels like searching for a needle in a haystack. Think about it. Humans naturally want to belong somewhere. We're built to connect with others. Yet some people move through life noticing something's missing, not because they can't make friends, but because something deeper stands in the way. What makes this even more challenging is that Sigma males aren't looking for just any tribe. They don't just want to fit in for the sake of fitting in. They crave a deep connection with like-minded individuals, but somehow it always seems just out of reach. They can easily talk to people at parties or work with teams when needed, but finding others who truly get them, that's a different story. It's not that Sigma males want to be alone. They simply refuse to settle for shallow connections just to avoid being lonely. They'd rather have one real friend or no friends at all than 30 fake ones. The question isn't whether these men can be social. They absolutely can. It's why finding their people feels like such a rare achievement. What makes their search for genuine connection so different from others? Let's explore the 6 surprising reasons why Sigma males often struggle to find their tribe, and why they might be better off for it in the long run. Number 1. Intense independence creates barriers. From an early age, most children learn to lean on others. They ask for help with tough homework, call friends when feeling down, or join teams to face challenges together. But some kids, like Sigma males, develop differently. They might have had to figure things out alone, or simply learned that relying on others often leads to disappointment. Over time, they grew to trust only themselves. This self-reliance becomes second nature. Their instinct isn't to reach out for help when facing challenges. It's to handle everything themselves. From practical problems to emotional setbacks, Sigma males tackle it all alone. While others form bonds through mutual support, they miss these opportunities. Their self-contained approach means fewer chances to build the interdependence that strengthens relationships. This independence creates an invisible wall between them and potential friends. To others, it may look like rejection. Why doesn't he ever ask for help? Or does he even need friends at all? But what people don't understand is that asking for help feels foreign to someone who's always relied on themselves. The sad irony is that Sigma males often long for meaningful connections. They just find it challenging to build relationships that involve healthy interdependence. Their independence has become so ingrained that letting others in feels like losing a part of themselves. So the very strength that makes Sigma males capable and self-sufficient is the one thing that makes finding their tribe so difficult. The greatest challenge for these self-reliant souls isn't surviving in this world. They've mastered that already. It's finding the rare few who understand that their independence isn't rejection, but simply the language they've always spoken. Number 2. They won't fake who they are just to fit in. Have you ever laughed at a joke you didn't find funny, or pretended to like something just because everyone else did? Most people do this without thinking. It's the oil that keeps social machines running smoothly. We bend a little here and there to match the group. For Sigma males, this simple social skill often feels like a lie. They can do it, of course, but they hate it. They just value authenticity too much to pretend. When they try to fake enthusiasm or agreement, it shows in their eyes, their tone, and their body language, if you know what to look for. The mask never quite fits. This isn't about being judgmental or thinking they're above others. It's more like having a truth filter they can't switch off. While others can easily slip into whatever role a situation requires, Sigma males remain stubbornly themselves, for better or worse. In relaxed settings with no pressure to perform, these individuals often shine. Their real reactions and honest perspectives can be refreshing. But in environments that demand social performance, networking events, office parties, Large gatherings, they often find themselves slightly out of step with everyone else. What's interesting is how Sigma males handle this gap. They rarely try to change others or criticize the social games people play. Instead, they simply participate less in situations that require too much pretending. They may listen more than they speak, leave events early, or gravitate toward one-on-one conversations where authenticity comes more naturally. Over time, this authentic approach attracts similarly genuine people, but these connections are rare enough to make finding a true tribe a slow, sometimes lonely journey. Number 3. High standards lead to isolation. Everyone has different ideas about what makes a good friend. For some people, just being fun and available is enough. But Sigma males often look for something more. They tend to have higher standards for the people they let into their lives. This isn't about being snobby or thinking they're better than everyone else. It's more about knowing what kind of connections work for them and what doesn't. A Sigma male might look for friends who keep their word, who can have deep conversations, who respect boundaries, and who bring something meaningful to the table. These aren't unreasonable things to want, but they do narrow the field of potential friends considerably. Think about it. How many people do you know who consistently show up when they say they will? Who can talk about more than just gossip or sports? Who respects your need for space? Who adds value to your life rather than just taking? The math is simple. The higher your standards, the fewer people will meet them. While others form large social circles with varying levels of connection, Sigma males often find themselves with just a few solid relationships, or sometimes none at all. What makes this especially challenging is that Sigma males rarely lower their standards just to avoid being alone. They've learned through experience that connections that don't meet their core needs end up being more draining than fulfilling. So they wait. They focus on their own lives and interests. They enjoy their own company. And they hope that eventually, they'll meet people who make the waiting worthwhile, even if that means spending significant time on their own. Number 4. Misunderstood emotional intelligence. Most people think being emotionally intelligent means showing lots of feelings. The person who cries at movies, laughs loudly at jokes, or gets visibly angry when upset. These obvious emotional displays make others comfortable. They know exactly what someone is feeling. Sigma males process emotions differently. They feel things deeply, but often keep their reactions internal. Instead of explosive outbursts or dramatic displays, they tend to analyze their feelings first. This doesn't mean they don't have emotions. They just express them more subtly. This quieter emotional style confuses people. In group settings, others might share personal stories with big reactions, while the Sigma male listens thoughtfully, offering measured responses. To many, this comes across as cold or unfeeling, when really, they're just processing things deeply. What's really frustrating is how often Sigma males get labeled as emotionally unavailable or robotic. The truth couldn't be more different. Many have rich emotional lives, but show it through careful listening, thoughtful advice, or quiet acts of kindness rather than obvious displays. This misunderstanding creates a painful cycle. People assume Sigma males don't care because they don't show emotions in expected ways. The Sigma male, sensing this judgment, pulls back further. The gap widens until finding people who understand their emotional language feels impossible. The few who do connect with these men often discover something surprising. Beneath that calm exterior is someone who notices emotional details others miss, remembers what matters to you, and offers support without making a show of it. But finding people willing to look past the surface is rare in a world that equates emotional intelligence with emotional display. Number 5. Non-conformity creates tension with the status quo. Every group develops shared viewpoints over time. Certain opinions become accepted without question. Certain ways of seeing the world become the right ways. It's human nature. We find comfort in agreement. Sigma males often see things from unexpected angles. not because they're trying to be different, but because their minds naturally explore paths others might miss. When a group discussion moves in one direction, they might quietly consider 3 alternatives that nobody's mentioned. This independent thinking shows up everywhere. While others adopt the latest trends without question, Sigma males ask if these trends actually make sense. While groups rally around popular opinions, Sigma males might notice the nuances everyone else overlooks. In the right environment, this perspective is invaluable. Many breakthroughs and innovations come from those who think differently. But in everyday social settings, these alternative viewpoints can leave Sigma males feeling like they're watching the world through a slightly different lens than everyone around them. The way they manage this difference speaks volumes. Around family, or in situations where harmony matters, a Sigma often listens more than he speaks. He knows when voicing his perspective helps and when it might unnecessarily disrupt. This isn't about hiding his thoughts. It's about choosing the right moments for them. The challenge comes in finding others who appreciate rather than merely tolerate different viewpoints. Most social groups unconsciously pressure members toward consensus. Finding people who welcome independent thinking, who say, "I never thought of it that way," with genuine interest rather than dismissal, is rare enough to make tribe finding a genuine challenge. Number 6. Deep thinking limits social interaction. People talk about different things in different ways. Some conversations stay light and easy, like skipping stones across a pond. Others go deep, like diving underwater to explore. Most social gatherings run on those skipping stone conversations. Weather, sports, TV shows, weekend plans, quick comments that bounce from person to person, keeping things moving and fun. Sigma males naturally prefer the diving kind of talks. Their minds automatically search for deeper meaning, bigger patterns, and hidden connections in everything. When someone mentions a new job, they wonder about long-term career satisfaction. When talk turns to a current event, they consider historical parallels and future implications. This depth can create a real gap. While everyone else is happily skipping from topic to topic, the Sigma male wants to pause and explore something more thoroughly. He has questions and observations that would take the light conversation into deeper waters. That's interesting about housing prices. I wonder if we're seeing the beginning of a major shift in where people choose to live long-term. In these moments, Sigma males face a choice. They can share their deeper thoughts and potentially change the whole flow of conversation. Or they can hold back and just listen, knowing their contributions might not fit the casual mood. Over time, many choose the second option. They enjoy listening but participate less, saving their deeper conversations for settings where this kind of thinking is welcome. The challenge isn't finding people to talk to. It's finding people who want to talk about things in the same way they do. People who don't just want to skip across the surface, but are ready to dive deep too. If this video resonated with you, consider subscribing to our channel for more content on the Sigma personality and other related topics. Don't forget to hit the like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay strong and keep evolving.